The Tennessee opening, closing, opening again, certainly got a lot of fanfare. Took over Twitter last night. The number one story, not sports story, the number one story was Tennessee hiring Greg Schiano. He's the defensive coordinator at Ohio State. And all of a sudden, there was a fan outcry, a revolt, saying that this guy should not be our head coach. And the reason, or at least one of the biggest reasons, is that somehow he may have known or covered up what happened at Penn State with Jerry Sandusky. Now, there's no proof of it. There was only hearsay. There was only a throwaway line from Mike McQueary, the former assistant coach who did walk in on Jerry Sandusky, the former coach at Penn State. But under oath, it never came up again in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages of testimony where people lost jobs, people went to prison. Nothing ever came up about Greg Schiano. Greg Schiano did a great job at Rutgers. Unbelievable job at Rutgers. He didn't do a great job at Tampa. Maybe he didn't have the personality to be the head coach in the NFL. But he goes to Ohio State. You're the defensive coordinator at Ohio State. He worked at the mothership for a while. He was vetted. I mean, people, when you're hiring these people, you want to do a background check because you don't want something to come up. Now, if he was somehow guilty of this, then no, you wouldn't want to hire him. But you're telling me Ohio State and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and ESPN did not do their background check on Greg Schiano? To me, this comes down to Tennessee being delusional. You think your program is something more than what it is right now, and it's not. There are coaches who turn this job down. You're lucky that Greg Schiano, defensive coordinator at Ohio State, was interested in the job. Now, would I hire Greg Schiano? No, I would not. But you could do a whole lot worse here. And please don't use sexual assault. That's the convenient scapegoat here, and that's what's embarrassing of all of this. I mean, if this is a coach you really wanted, would you look the other way? And you would, right? It wouldn't be that big a deal, right? It's a convenient out, and now you've stained this coach for the rest of his career. And that's a disservice. It's embarrassing. But if I'm the athletic director and I've only been on the job for less than a year, then why don't you put it out for our vote there with your fan base? Why don't you say, we got two candidates here. Let's just have an election. If they're going to run the program, then let them run it because that's what you let them do. But if you're hiring Greg Schiano, then bring Greg Schiano in. You're proud to have him? Then fight for him. Tell your fan base this is why you want him in there. But your fan base has spoken and you acquiesced. Embarrassing. But the bigger issue is why you didn't want Greg Schiano. If you don't want him as a football coach, fine. You can protest. I have no issue with that whatsoever. But don't use this Penn State situation, the atrocities there, to shoehorn that to all of a sudden get rid of Greg Schiano. And you're waiting for John Gruden. You know what? If you want John Gruden that much, do this. Pony up $15 million a year because John loves his money. But go get him. But why would you want to go to Tennessee with what just happened? I would be less inclined if I'm a marquee coach to want to go there. Do my fans have my back, or do they have my back for a short period of time, and then all of a sudden they're going to turn on me? Tennessee's got to understand it's not a desirable job. Not right now. It hasn't been. And you guys got embarrassed, humiliated this season. You don't even win a game in the SEC. And now, who do you think's going to walk in and take over? Lombardi's not coming through the door. Chuck Noll's not coming in. Tom Landry's not coming in. Hell, get Phil Fulmer again. But to do that to Greg Schiano, who by all accounts is a good man, good coach, he's not the personality I want to lead my team. I'll say that up front. I do not know Greg Schiano. I did hear from somebody who's known him for 20 years last night who was emotionally distraught that this actually played out because he said he's a great man. I have known him. I've worked with him. And if he ever saw something like that he's been accused of, or at least there was the innuendo or rumor, he would have done something about that at Penn State. But to do this to him, and now it's there. When you Google Greg Schiano, this is going to come up. And that, to me, is embarrassing on Tennessee's part and this fan base. We did call for everybody involved in this, the athletic director, Greg Schiano. We'll see if we hear back from somebody. But this is troubling. This is where you're letting people, the fan base, decide here. And they're deciding something on something that we don't even know if it's true or not. If it is true, then he should be punished, should have been punished. But people under oath did not bring this up. And it came up only one time. It's sad. But Tennessee, good luck trying to find somebody in there. Because I think it's going to be really hard. And John Gruden's not walking through the door unless you're going to overpay for John Gruden. Maybe Jay Gruden. Maybe you get Jay Gruden for half that. But holding out hope here of who you think's going to come in the door, pretty dangerous.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.